insight. In my mind's modest, I walk the great way. Arrogance is all I feel. The great way is low and plain, but people like shortcuts over the mountains. The palace is full of splendor, and the fields are full of weeds, and the granaries are full of nothing. People wearing ornaments and fancy clothes, carrying weapons, drinking a lot, and eating a lot, having a lot of things, a lot of money, shameless thieves. Surely their way isn't the way. So basically, Lao Tzu had told back then, which is very evident even in this day and age, that if you keep on hoarding and having in excess than what you actually need, that doesn't make you strong or soulful character by any means, because then you are more bent on the acquisition aspect, and the way to the truth is by restraint, is the way of giving up, not as a loser, but as somebody who's seeking truth, as somebody who has seen the pointlessness of running after material things and still being unfulfilled and unsatisfied and frustrated. So Lao Tzu is talking about having the middle way, because the middle way is truly the answer. It's not about going to the extremes of completely relinquishing everything or completely getting mad after money, fame, and power. Very much what Buddhism talks about, the middle path. Very much what Lord Krishna has told in Gita, the middle path. So basically, all the truthful people, all the truthful gods, all the truth of the spirituality. And by the way, spirituality is not just for entertainment or just because it's a ritual. You do not come to spirituality or a religion for that. If it's a part of your ritual, then it's meaningless. What is essential is basically you would not have any other option left apart from coming to the real ground of truth, because there are enough liars in the world and you see them miserable, sad, spreading hate, spreading disgust, those demons I'm talking about, laughing at others, mocking at others, because they do not have the true soul. Those are all disconnected from their center. They do not know who they are. They have left their godliness within themselves and they have chosen to demonic side because it's far too easy. It's far too easy to make fun of others. It's far too easy to spread hate. It's far too easy to be jealous of somebody who's very bright and sharp. And so, there are also angels in the world. And on an everyday basis, you see some angels, some stranger angel who just lights up your presence, who just lights up your living experience, somebody who you have never met, who you have never seen. But just their very presence is a charm because they are so beautiful. Beauty it's got a lot of power. And mind you, that beauty I'm not talking about in terms of your physical appearance. Some people have got a beautiful aura. And that they emit because they are the living angels. Just like how they are living demons who spread suppression, hate, negativity, who tell their dogs and their children and their families around to throw hate and spread, they basically spread hate. Because they come from the dark world, because they are so sad in their own lives. Or people who just keep on mocking and threatening others on the street, in the external world. What are they trying to do? They are just trying to say that I do not have the capacity any further to contain my misery and it's overflowing. So all I'm doing is just giving what I have. People want to give their disease because they are so full of disease. They are diseased because they do not know. Disease comes from selfishness, from greediness. So why do you see all these people are so sick and mentally ill? Because they're not willing to learn. They're not willing to learn the right way of living, like what Lao Tzu told, like what Lord Krishna told, like how Lord Buddha said, like how Jesus Christ told. But instead, people made religion around that, as if a ritual is going to give you a taste of truth. Doing those rituals are meaningless if your life is devoid of truth. If you are living like an animal, have got no compassion whatsoever, just living for yourself, selfish, animalistic living. What the hell is that? And then you see supreme jealousy. Just because they cannot stand you for who you are. Just because they cannot see and bear to face you. They cannot dare do that. Because they every time they they encounter you, they see you as a threat. Like how could you dare to be yourself in a world in which everybody is so dark, in which everybody is taking to the darkness just so that they could survive? It's all about survival. And you are no exception. You are aware. You are very much aware. Every artist, every painter, every musician, every philosopher, they were all aware that they had to pay a huge price for being themselves. And they were always discarded by society. They were always hated upon, always looked down upon, always not given the things that they basically deserved, which was their art to be shown up, to reach the audience. Because there's these special forces that act against the truth. They do not want the truth to be shared, to be spread. And especially if you are a female, you would see the world for a female creator is too demonic. Even for males, I would say. If you're a male and who's a real creator, who's a true artist, who's a true being in whatever you do, your business or your work, you're going to have a lot of haters. For men, they would want to attack you and want to kill you. For females, they just want to make your life like living hell. They want to disrespect you, say fuck you, or maybe rape you just because you are you. And people cannot stand your intelligence. People cannot stand your shine, your light. And then maybe kill you. And for a man, it's very much like they're going to hate you no matter what, just because you are strong, just because you are you. Just because you are creative, you are intelligent. So other weaker men are going to hate you on that. And even other demonic females are going to get jealous of you. Because they cannot vibe around you. And the same thing goes for a female who's sharp, who's intelligent, who knows what she's doing. So the rest of the world cannot fool her. But sure, they can threat her. Sure, they can try to scare her so that the place becomes so unsafe for her that she cannot create anymore. That's the world of a cheap mentality of weak men. Because they are so jealous and they fear that your truth is going to change a lot of other women who are tied up in a life wherein they always have chosen to show themselves as a poor peasantry. That means you might be living in a big 20-room house. That doesn't guarantee that you have your freedom, okay? So don't take your wealth in terms of finances to the real standard of living up to your full potential. I'm talking about potential. And are you truly living up to it? A lot of people would just give up for slavery. A lot of people would give up their own essence of who they are just for money. Just for cheap money and just for cheap security. And mind you, there's no security. So if you keep selling your soul just for those cheap stuffs, you are cheap anyway. You are a cheap person despite owning the world despite owning the maximum power of the world, despite sitting in higher positions, you are going to be cheap because nobody is going to trust you. The world has never been safe for either for male or for females. So I will just put it in a way, the unsafe world. And why is the world unsafe? Because there is majority of people who live out of fear. And when they see somebody who lives out of love, who lives out of courage, who lives out of truth, they see them as somebody they cannot understand. And that brings about a lot of fear in them. Because they've just never ever seen somebody like that. When they see a free soul, which is one in a billion, they have just never ever seen somebody like that. So all they do is try and belittle because your light is just way too bright and blinding for them. They get blinded by your light. So they go ahead and try all the ways so that they can put you down. But what they do not know is that you choose to keep going ahead. Despite the hurdles, despite the fear, despite the pain, it's not that a chosen one does not feel fear. It's not that a chosen doesn't have pain in the body, but they still show up. They still go ahead for the thing that they have signed up for. They still show up for every single thing that they know is going to take them to their highest version of self. Because what is the point of living a life wherein you are not living to your own full potential? 95% of the people are cowards. A man who would see a strong female at work or somewhere in the shop would say, just because of jealousy, because they cannot have you, they'll say, fuck her. It's always a cheap man who cannot create. Because a creative, intelligent being is always strong and centered in who they are. They just show up through their work. Look at the great musicians. Their work is speaking for itself. And that is supreme sexuality. And not a rapist. A rapist is somebody who is most weak, who is most living out of extreme darkness, who's most miserable one. And they threat the females in the world by trying to attack them, by trying to throw verbal hate. Why do you think there is so much cases of crime in the world against women, against females, ranging from all the age? Children are being abused, children are being raped and killed. Then women in middle age and even older women. So being a female, you are not safe no matter what you have. And then and who are you going to complain, by the way? You cannot complain to nobody because there's no security set for the truth. The people in power, they want to give security to somebody who is more demonic. Somebody who's a rule breaker can get away with all of the bullshit despite doing all the crime. But when you, as a sober person, you go up and say, this is injustice, this is wrong, this is not how it should be, there's no support because the entire system is against you. They will ask you and make you run around in some stupid shit, mindless work. Even talking about the day-to-day work, like working with the system. And then there's another thing about female safety. That is absolutely nil. And mind you, these criminals are not every man is a criminal. There are a lot of decent men. And those are the real men who actually make the world a better, beautiful, safe place. But the majority of deprived men, the majority of jealous people, those are the ones who want to keep the strong females from coming up. This you see everywhere. This you see in any sort of industry. Even at work, you will see that your voice would be suppressed. If you're an artist, you will see that you've got to put a lot of effort, which another man can just get by easily. But for you to put up your art, for making it accessible to the audience, you've got to fight your way for real. And then what about sports? It's just the same. You're always taken like a fool, despite you being the best, but just because you're a female, they're going to sideline you, as if your voice was not heard on purpose. And this has happened over ages throughout the world. It's not true that it's only in the Muslim countries that women are suppressed and the rights are not equal. And that has never been the case, by the way. This is throughout the world because society views females like a lower version, or they might say like, okay, I'm a boss babe and I do this and that and I'm the real boss. But behind that is a lot of it's a lot of grind. Have you ever seen, just for like something so commonsensical, something so basic, you have to run around and ask 10 people different things, and then they say, no, you need to go there, then you need to run there, then you need to do this and that, for all bullshit. Doesn't make any sense. You see it in bank, you see it in government organizations, treating you like a fool. And then you look at the cheap demonic beings in the outer world. But what can you do? You cannot do anything. But you must keep going. Because if you're thinking that by you shrinking your light and you just keeping yourself small, you're going to be safe. First of all, there's no guarantee that you would not be, you are going to be safe anyhow. So it's much better that you create what you were born to create. You create that song, you create that film, that movie. You create your business and get over your fears that, oh, but what if I'm trying to create something into this world that is going to outlast me for sure? And there are going to be these haters who make my life difficult. Let them do whatever they want to do. Your job is to keep going. Your job is to keep going. Let me repeat that again. You should not stop anyhow. Because that's what the devil and the demons outside want you to do. They want you to give up. Fuck no. And by the way, you are the goddess and you must know your powers. I talk to raise the vibration of the entire planet so that the weak ones, the confused ones, because the society deliberately wants to put you in the dark. They want to keep you confused. They want to keep you low vibrational so that they can control you. I know it's a daily fight. It's a daily battle. Fighting the demons every day, left, right, and center. That's my daily life, basically. But I still go ahead and do it. Because what is the other way? To not fight? To give up? Not doing that. If you come to this realization that life has got no meaning, at least be the hero. At least tell your truth. At least let the world know your story, who you are. What are you made of? Be you. Despite them not giving you accolades, despite them not paying you for your worth, despite them not identifying you for who you are, just be about it. There are people out there who appreciate you. Every cell of their existence vibes with you. And it's okay if they never came and said anything to you. There are people who get inspired by just your very presence. There are people who get jealous too, who just get too wild and mad at you. That's all for a reason. Just be about it. Just be you. Go all the way. And it doesn't matter you are a man or you're a woman. If you're a woman, keep creating. If you're a man of high value, who believes in purpose, who believes in living out of truth, out of courage, out of strength, out of beauty, keep going. You need not fear the cowards who are trying to scare you. It's always a coward who wants to overpower the strong. It's always a coward who wants to scream and bark loud on you. Because the real courage, a real man of value, a real woman of value, they know who they are. They're very much centered in who they are. And they do not speak loud. They do not be loud. Their existence Their power is shown in their very presence, in whatever they do. Whatever they do it to their best skill. And about the demons outside, you don't worry. Karma's got a special place for them in hell. And their hell is not outside when they die. Their hell is right here, right now. They are in the living hell. Because every time you choose to vibrate low, you're in a living hell already. They are so damn miserable that they want to hate you. They want to throw up their negativity on you. It doesn't even touch you. Of course, you might feel down for a while because you're a human and you have got a heart that is real. You've got a heart that throbs. You're not a stone hearted person, you're an empath. You feel, you understand the energy around you. You see why people are broken and shattered, and that's why they are toxic. Because they have failed too many times and they have no courage left to come up again. So they have become bitter. And that's why they are jealous and they are toxic. You understand that game because you have been there. You get that. So you do not hate them. You just let them be. You forgive them, but you do